Hello everyone and welcome back for day 14 of the Very Green Lockdown. Today I'm going to be talking about houseplants and the benefits. This is my most recent houseplant purchase. It's a lovely big plant and I really like it, and it's called an Areca, I believe that's how it's pronounced, an Areca palm plant. And I have several others. Shall we see? The prickly kind of houseplant, this cactus. My beloved peace lily. My succulent, he's very little. My Christmas cactus. My calathea, his name is Freddie. My little baby amaryllis. And some temporary plants that were given to me that will go outside eventually. Houseplants are known to reduce stress, improve concentration and productivity, improve general mental health, and clean the toxins in your air. So for example, plants like this, the Areca palm, and also the peace lily that I showed you upstairs, are both really good plants to have in the home if you want to suck out the toxins from your rooms and release oxygen back into those rooms. Plus, it's just really pleasant to look after them, and some people say they are replacing pets. As I say it's pleasant to look after them though, I have killed many houseplants because they can be difficult to look after, which then brings the enjoyment later when you've figured out how to do it. So I'm going to give you some top tips for looking after houseplants. So, tip number 1, is your houseplant a plant that likes shade or a plant that likes light? This is important. Depends on the plant. You do need to familiarise yourself with the type of plant that you have, and then just test it out in different spots. See how it goes in a bright spot compared to a slightly shaded spot compared to a really dark spot, and you will find the right place for yours. This is one of the ways where I have killed some plants, through not being flexible enough in where I've placed the plants to test out the different spots. Number 2, watering. You'd think you'd need to water the plant. Yes, you do need to water the plant, but some like water more than others. You don't want to be watering your cactuses and succulents very often at all, and that goes with a wide range of plants. You also don't want to be not watering some plants, so you do need to find out how often you should be watering a plant, and again testing this out. Obviously your plant's going to be in a pot, so when you do water it, you don't want it to be sitting there soaking it. The plant will take the amount of water it needs and then drop the rest out of the bottom. So if the bottom is hard and the bottom of the pot, then the water is not going to have anywhere to go. So you need to think about how you create a little bit of gap between the plant pot and the display pots. So you can use gravel. I use gravel a lot, or a lot of people use sponges as well, where you put a sponge in between so that the water gets sucked up into the sponge, and then when the plant needs more water, it sucks it out of that sponge. So that works pretty well as well. Food. Now, it took me a while to figure out that plants need food. Not something that I thought of immediately, but it's something I've definitely learned. If you find that your houseplant is starting to dwindle, but you've been watering it and you've been doing everything you're supposed to do, think, have I fed this plant? Because the likeliness is that it does need food, and just look at how often it expects to feed if that specific plant. I just kind of do it maybe once a month. You do it more in the growing season than when they're dormant, because houseplants do go dormant at certain times of the year. So especially interesting with some plants, like for example an orchid, you might think it's died because all the flowers have fallen off, but actually a lot of the time it's just gone dormant, so it's not actually dead. So don't throw it away because it will come back to life. And obviously the last thing, something that's crucial and has been passed on to me by very wise older gardeners from other generations, has been perhaps you should consider just talking to your plant, telling your houseplant what you want it to do. For example, Mr. Areca, please don't die. That'd be much appreciated. I'll look after you the best I can. And maybe he won't die. Important to make sure that when you're getting a house plant, you are doing it in the most eco-friendly manner that you can. There are lots of people that now actually sell their houseplants or cuttings of their houseplants secondhand. So you can find really popular and normally expensive houseplants online on places like Facebook Marketplace and Gumtree and well, probably not eBay, but I don't know. I haven't looked on eBay. So definitely try and buy your plants secondhand and try and buy your pots secondhand. It just reduces waste. Also, if you can try and avoid peat in the soil that you use, that is also very beneficial because the extraction of peat does actually bring carbon into the atmosphere. So definitely things to think about when you are going to purchase your houseplant. It's also worth mentioning that you need to consider whether or not you have bought a houseplant that is friendly for pets and children. Some houseplants can be toxic to pets and kids, so do have a look at that as well. That's the end of today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and please click subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you back tomorrow for day 15 of the Very Green Lockdown and our halfway point.